starting pitching, defense, speed, timely hitting. A clinic from the Northsiders.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Wolber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen to or watch us every day. Today's episode is presented by our great partner at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Vlad Jr.'s contract extension possibly impacting Kyle Tucker, a preview of Tuesday's game, fun with Jon Berti, all on tap for us. We start with the Cubs and Rangers. Justin Steele pitched 7 shutout innings. Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Michael Busch all had 2 hits as the Cubs won 7-0 over the Rangers on Monday night. Cubs record a nice series opening win on a night with real field temperatures in the mid to low 20s and a slight flurry, the 27th out there. Sam, it was a convincing win on the north side.
Matt, if you take away the back end of this bullpen, since coming back from Japan, this team is playing flawless baseball. They have won 8 of 11 since coming back from Japan. They have been in
talk about it.
They have been in control of every single game but one, which I did a watch long for. I'll be doing another one this Friday night.
Wow, late night one.
Yeah, we'll be up till 3 a.m.
No, the bullpen's the only unsettled position group.
Well, and that's putting it kindly, but they are doing so many good things, and it is so refreshing to see after last year sitting around, with all due respect to the skipper, and just waiting for home runs because the home run's the best play in baseball. How many home runs did the Cubs hit today, right? When the wind's blowing in and it's winter temps outside, and it was a winter afternoon in the northwest suburbs, you need to run the bases well. You need to put the ball in play. You need to go the other way. You need to do those things. And this team so far in 4 home games has been outstanding offensively. They've been up to the task, and I give them all a lot of credit. And I love the way they're playing right now, and they deserve some praise.
Absolutely. And if you want to keep track of these things, the Cubs are now 2-0 after close losses.
A devastating defeat.
After the bullpen gave up the ball game. The second inning tonight, Sam, gave me great confidence in not only the Cubs, but the Cubs game plan, given the circumstances, given the weather. Busch doubles to lead off the frame. Swanson sacrifice, bunted Busch to third. Amaya connects healthy fly for a sac fly, give the Cubs a 1-0 lead. They would never give up that said lead. Cubs also a big inning in the 6th to score 4, all with 2 outs. Can we get some stats on the run scoring with 2 outs? Who's the producer of this show? They have been a force with 2 outs this year, and that happened on this cold and windy night at Wrigley on Monday in the 6th. Happ 2-run single. Tucker and Seiya followed up that with singles of their own as well. And then, Sam, it was Justin Steele.
Yeah.
After some turbulence in his first 3 outings, Steele quieted the YouTube comments. After a great start here, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. The man, since June 1, 2022, has a 2.95 ERA in over 400 innings.
He was excellent tonight, and I expected it. Great conditions to pitch, but they weren't as great for Nathan Eovaldi, right? Like he missed some bats today. I thought the one adjustment that I noticed was a lot more purposeful high heaters today.
Okay.
Purposeful high heaters that got a lot of swing and miss, because early he gave up a walk, gave up a couple hits, but after like the second inning, it was cruise control. And I'll go as far as to say if that was still a close game or later in the season, or dare I say October, he could have went another inning, maybe two.
Yeah.
He was
Definitely
excellent.
the eighth.
He was excellent. And, I think that's good for him early in the year, getting off to a slow start. You see that inflated ERA. Now it's a much more manageable number. And his next start will be at Shavaz Ravine against the defending World Series champs again. See if he could get a little bit of a revenge against those guys. And then after Steele's great outing, Colin Ray pitched. And
he did?
And I would like to ask you a question now, because he's looked pretty good in his low leverage outings. What does he have to do to come in next time? Obviously maybe take a day or two off. Maybe he comes in and throws the 6th and the 7th in a close game, so we don't have to go through the cycle of a Thielbar, of a Pearson, dare I say a Ryan Presley. Like, this guy, you paid him money. And he looked sharp today, 93, 94 out of the pen. He sure looked more sharp than most of the guys were running out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he did the same thing. Was it last Monday?
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
Oh, okay.
31st of March.
All right.
But you could double check that. Wait, so the Cubs bullpen is so bad that you'd like to try Colin Ray as a multi-inning guy in leverage?
Yeah, I mean it's been terrible. Yeah, you're right. It was. Wait, what? Yeah, you're right. It was Monday.
Yeah.
So he went 7 days without throwing.
Him and Birdie hadn't played in like a week.
7 days. So is he just a once a week multi-inning guy when they're up 8? Like, that's not. They didn't spend money for that. Or if Ben Brown struggles one more time, flip-flop those roles, give Brown some leverage and let Ray start. Like, I don't know. Let's use this guy, man.
Yeah, I just think to be strategic and if they want to wait, which it looks like they're going to, Sam, if they want to wait to make bullpen changes, then I think for either one of the lefties, Steele and Monaga or Boyd, Ray should be first out of the pen, but first out as a piggyback. And whenever one of those three dudes, Steele, Monaga, or Boyd, is done with their outing, hopefully it's a good one, Ray just pitches the rest of the game, ideally. That would be my idea. And then the bullpen in the other games, okay, you could do your one-inning thing, whatever you got to do, because we know how much of a struggle bus it is for these guys to go in the dugout, sit down, pop another Red Bull or water, whatever it is, and then go back out to the field. Although, with that being said, Julian Merriweather was excellent doing that yesterday.
Well, he's Merriweather.
He should, by the way, Sam, he should be the closer, not Hodge.
Merriweather, Keller,
that's my
Hodge.
opinion.
Any of those three guys, I'm good with. Those three. Merriweather, Keller, and Hodge. One of those three. Presley, medium leverage. But I don't. Let's talk more about. How about the day?
Let's savor this win.
Yeah, Michael Busch, really good day at the plate.
Wow, what'd you see from him? Because he changed the game.
I thought Michael Busch. Well, I think Busch this year, he's off to a pretty good start, and it's shorter. It's different. He's not striking. I mean, we've talked about it. He's hitting the ball on the ground more, but he's striking out less. I think the power will come. I mean, there's, Kyle Tucker hit a home run today. Wind got blown back. Added him to my list in case anyone wants to know. That's now Swanson, Amaya, and Tucker, all -1 from Wrigley. Kelly a +1. Yeah, just looks really sharp. Good day for Miguel Amaya. Decent day for Pete, and good day for Saya. I mean, it was a pretty good day all around. So I'm very impressed with the sense of urgency, if you will, the focus of this team. And really, we talked about differences between this year and last year because, look, it's very fair to admit. It's fair to say, hey, look, well, Cubs are leading the league in run differential. Brewers are -20, 21, and they're a game back. Sam, what's different? This is the same old. Well, you talked about it. The big difference is Cubs have Kyle Tucker. But this base running feels different.
Yeah, but it's defense and base running too.
This base running feels different right now. The emphasis on it, because I got news for you. it's not going to be great weather here for a while. So they're going to have some time to really take advantage of this. And with the pitching matchups the rest of the way, I'd like to clean my apartment once again. So
Jon Berti was one of those dudes on the bases. We get to him and preview what could be the last game of the series on Tuesday, right after this.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs, one of my favorite times of year, are almost here. And FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your bet wins. I love how FanDuel makes betting so easy, whether it's picking my favorite team or diving into player props. As far as the NBA playoffs go, I gotta say, it was a pretty chalky NCAA tournament for the most part till Duke collapsed. I like the Oklahoma City Thunder on FanDuel right now at plus 170 to win the championship. They have one of the best point differentials in basketball history. They're dominant on both ends. I think they're ready to take that next step, and I think they find a way to hold up the trophy at the end of the season. So don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. FanDuel, official partner of Locked On.
Jon Berti in the third inning got hit by a pitch, and within a matter of a few pitches, stole second, stole third, and beat out a throw to home on a grounder to first. If you recall, Birdie was signed in January, 1 year, $2 million after a short stint with the Yankees and a longer one with the Marlins. He's 4 for 15, 4 stolen bases in 5 games. Birdie did not appear in the Padres series, but Nico Hoerner might not play 4 in a row for a while. So I think we're going to see Birdie every now and then, and maybe what we might call on this show Birdie Mondays. Since the Cubs have a lot of off days on Thursdays. So in this first part of the year, really that fourth game in a row, I believe, is going to be on a Monday. Sam, tell us what you like about Birdie and why and how he can impact the baseball game.
Yeah, basically exactly what I was just talking about the first segment, and this just exemplifies it. He didn't have a base hit today, but I thought he had maybe the most important sequence of the game. It's a 1-0 game. Eovaldi felt like even though he had given up a run, was in rhythm, pitching really well. Man, he's a good pitcher, which love if we got him. So he works about a 9-pitch, 10-pitch AB, results in a hit by pitch. Steele's second, okay? Now there's 1 out in this situation. When you're playing against a pitcher like this on a day like this, if you feel like there's just a split second that you could get a jump with 1 out, no outs, different story. 2 outs, different story. But with 1 out, if you feel like you could steal that bag, I'm not going to be mad at you if you get thrown out because it's going to be hard to drive you in. So then you steal third. And then Ian Happ hits a routine ground ball to first, and that results in a run because Jon Berti stole those 2 bases. And I thought that set the tone. And again, I know wins above replacement and WRC plus, whatever, but those metrics, they don't matter that much on a day like today because Jon Berti's WRC plus was probably 0, okay, or 12 or 20, whatever it was. But he made as much of a difference as anybody not named Justin Steele and maybe Michael Busch today with those 2 stolen bases. That was a huge run. And when it's 85 degrees and the wind's blowing out at 15 miles an hour, Jon Berti can be a defensive replacement late if necessary. But on a day like today, that was a really, really big play. And that's why you go get a bench guy. That's what bench guys are there to do. The bench guys are there to come in and be competent if you need them to start, put together decent at-bats, but they got to give you a little bit of an edge on the margins. And we've talked about this since July of 2022 on this very show. And Jon Berti today helped the Cubs on the margins. And I thought it was a good signing when they made it. My type of player, if you know me, I like contact guys. I like speed, like guys that could defend multiple positions. And, didn't go as well for Gage Workman, but give Counsell credit. Today was a good day. I thought even if Nico was fully healthy, this is a good game to get some rest because you could hit a ball 100 billion miles an hour. It's not going to get out. So Just really good play. And I think that play right there is the example that we're talking about in the first segment.
Yeah, and I would like to see him in innings 7, 8, 9, whether it's for Amaya or Kelly or somebody else, be a pinch runner.
Absolutely.
They haven't done that yet.
They haven't. I thought about that today as well.
So I'd like to see that maybe as soon as Tuesday night, which will have the same weather conditions as Monday. It's going to be low to mid 20s real feel at first pitch. They are going to play that game. It's going to be almost a carbon copy of Monday. The issue is going to be Wednesday, folks. That's a 1:20 scheduled start, 90% chance of rain at that time. So this might be a 2-gamer, Sam. Jamison Tyone for the Cubs, Patrick Corbin for the Rangers. Tyone was solid last week against the A's. Corbin is making his 25 debut after pitching the last 6 seasons with the Nationals. Corbin was about to make his first AAA start and then got this call. He hasn't pitched yet in the regular season, so he'll likely be on some kind of a stricter pitch count, I would guess. Listen to this grocery list of names who all have excellent career numbers against the lefty Corbin. Birdie, Happ, Horner, Kelly, Seiya, Swanson, Tucker, and Turner. This is really a game now where you want to get greedy. Yeah. I would almost say especially if they have another off day Wednesday.
Yeah, I would. I'm looking right now. Looks like right around minus 160 for that line for the Cubs. Well, I mean, it hasn't gone well for Patrick Corbin in quite a while.
No, it hasn't.
I think just looking ahead to Tuesday's game with the conditions the way they're going to be, lefty, I'd like to see Justin Turner have his first real big I'm a Chicago Cub moment. Tough game for him Sunday. With the play at first base, I think it's fit for him to get a big base hit or two.
Totally. Did you hear his comments after Sunday's game?
Yeah, he talked about how, first of all, I agree with everything he said. The ball needs to be caught. But he said the ball needs to be caught. But the ball needs to be caught. It's 100% on him. I'd like to see Nico start getting those throws up a little bit too. Mm-hmm. Like he should have caught it. I would have caught it. His whole thing was, hey, I didn't know if it was bouncing or it wasn't, whatever. You know what I mean? Those are tough. And again, 100% on Justin Turner. But I've noticed a lot of those throws are down low. Like he had time there. Let's see if we could hit him in the chest. But Turner needed to make the catch, and he admitted that.
Yeah, and Horner will have to reflect on his own performance Sunday too. And I'm sure they're conferencing with him a little bit about that. I thought all the comments after Sunday's game were encouraging.
Yeah, it was
the
Turner's
baseball
fault.
part of it encourages me more, no doubt. But some of their words, I would say, are tracking. They're tracking way more than last year at this time.
I agree.
And Counsell, I guess we know what we're going to get with him in terms of as a talker. But even he, I feel like has a different motivation this early in the season.
I fully agree. I mean, even his comments yesterday about Ben Brown, he was just very blunt. Like he just wasn't I felt like he wasn't that, you pointed out after the Tyone outing in Arizona, he did the same thing. Like he just was like, he just, didn't have any command. And you know what I mean? He's just been really,
he made too many mistakes.
Yeah. He's been pretty, it feel again, I'm going to get made fun of for this because it feels like I'm supporting my own theory and I'm not. It just feels like they have more of a sense of an urgency or sense of focus, right? Like it just feels a little
maybe focus is the better word.
Yeah, it just feels like they're really locked in. And it's just, it would be great if the back end of the bullpen could follow suit. But I just want to clarify because I'm going to get shredded and I don't want to. That was Justin Turner's fault. It wasn't a bad throw from Nico Horner. It just could have been. He throws a lot of them low. He's off to a great start. Love the way Nico's playing. Just I'd like to see him get some more zip on that, but maybe that's health related.
You had a good feeling about Monday. We both did. I received my first weather voice text of the year. It was another classic from Sam.
No, I got
you feel good about Tuesday too, right?
And Wednesday if they play. How's that?
Cubs.
How's that? I'd like to go to LA against, they got beat today, by the way. Hey, one more comment before we move on.
You'd like to go to LA 10-5. Got it.
No, but can I say something too? JD.
Well, it is your show as well.
JD and Boog talked about today about, hey, it's not who you face, but when you face them. But they didn't talk about this point. You and I have been working together for a long time, and you know me.
Too long.
What do I always get a little afraid of when we play a team that's good, that's struggling, right? Like I don't.
Yes,
I've
heard that from you a lot.
I don't like that. You get San Diego coming in. They were a very soft 7-0. They weren't playing that well, but their record was great. It's cold. They got their one. They wanted to get out of here. Texas has no offensive success whatsoever. Somehow they're 8-2. They're Boshi's going, let's just get one and get out of this. It's freezing. We already got our 8. I like playing teams like this who are, they're good teams, but they're not desperate. Desperate teams always scare me. So my point is, I think the Cubs are playing these two teams at the right time in a unique way.
Yeah, and I hope the West Coast trip may apply to some of that.
The Dodgers better win the next couple.
Late Sunday night, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signed a big extension with the Blue Jays. Does the extension news signal anything about Kyle Tucker and the Cubs? Find out next. Today's episode is brought to you by Just Ingredients. When it comes to fueling your body, quality matters. That's why Just Ingredients is changing the game with clean, high-quality products designed to support better health and peak performance. Just Ingredients offers an NSF-certified line of protein powder, electrolytes, pre-workout, and creatine, all rigorously tested to ensure they're free from substances banned by major athletic organizations. Just Ingredients also just partnered with two-time MVP Bryce Harper, who trusts their NSF-certified sports line to fuel his training and recovery. This huge bag of chocolate protein powder that Just Ingredients just sent me has been huge for my workout routine, and it tastes amazing. Just Ingredients is so good, so many good flavors, and I love that they prioritize wholesome, nourishing ingredients without the artificial junk. Visit justingredients.us and use code LOCKEDONMLB for 20% off. That's justingredients.us and use code LOCKEDONMLB. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has agreed to a 14-year, $500 million contract extension with the Blue Jays. Let me read this paragraph from Ken Rosenthal's column in The Athletic on Monday. Quote, "The Guerrero agreement is great news for right fielder Kyle Tucker, a superior all-around player to Guerrero, and bad news for the Chicago Cubs, the team that acquired Tucker entering his walk year. Tucker, 28, is 2 years older than Guerrero, so the deal he gets probably will not be as long. But in open bidding, his AAV figures to be at least $40 million and maybe a good bit higher. 12 years, $42 million a year, a $504 million guarantee. Cubs owner Tom Ricketts already is weeping," close quote. Sam, initially over the weekend when the Vlad news was leaking, I was trying to convince myself this was good for the Cubs.
No.
But number one, I think it could put more pressure on them, but ultimately it's not necessarily good news.
It's awful news. Okay. If Vlad Guerrero got 500 over 14, you have to start
at 500 for less years.
At 500 for 10, 11. Right. I mean,
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, and I mean, we just have no evidence. I mean, this segment is going to be a reoccurring one all year.
But we control that, though. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to keep doing this.
Well, I put my hood on while you were talking about that because I was just so disgusted because it's ridiculous. If they don't sign him, because we all know how this is going to go. Like, why are we even having this discussion?
By the way, one encouraging thing to this, though, could be Vlad did give the Blue Jays a deadline, and the Blue Jays pushed right through it.
And that's encouraging. Why?
Well, to say that, your mindset might have been, I just want to play baseball this year, but they still got the extension done during the year.
So I Here's how we have nothing else to believe other than this. So as of right now, the Cubs will make a quote, and if you're listening on audio, I'm quoting competitive offer for about, let's say, 10 for 500. Okay. And some team like the Yankees, the Mets, maybe
I think
the
it's going to be 5 teams.
Phillies. Dare I say the Dodgers if they don't win.
It's going to be Cubs, Yankees, Red Sox, Giants, and Phillies.
Okay. I'm just going to throw the Dodgers in there. Why not?
Okay.
Someone's going to go, oh, we'll give you 12 for 600. And then the news will come out and half the people will go, oh, well, that deal doesn't make sense anyway. And this and this. It's the same thing. And look, the only hope that I have that they get this done is 2 letters. PR, public relations.
Sure.
If they don't get this done with the lockout pending after 2026, even unless somehow the Cubs win the World Series this year, he will lose a lot of fans because they will fall in love with this young man as a player. Why wouldn't they? He's phenomenal.
I already have, yeah.
And then they will lose him after 1 year and giving up a player that, Cam Smith's struggling right now. Yes, he is, by the way. Could you believe that? A young man who's never hit in baseball all of a sudden is struggling because anyway, and you lose him after 1 year after giving up those guys, and you're the Chicago Cubs. If you think last offseason was bad with Rosenthal and Passan, you'll lose a lot of fans. You'll lose a lot of fans.
And I knew about that prospect going in, that it could just be one and done. And trust me, I am going to do everything I can to enjoy this year. Everything. I turned up the volume on Go Cubs Go after this win, way up on my television.
Me too.
I'm savoring every win.
I actually pretended I was in line with the guys high-fiving.
Fantastic. But if Kyle Tucker isn't the position player the Cubs can invest big years and big money in, we got a big problem. And we could legitimately pose the question then about Tom Ricketts selling the team.
That's it. That's the.
If he's not the guy, then Ricketts should sell. And I'm sorry, we're 27 minutes in because I want more people to hear that. I'm selfish tonight.
Well, guess what? You're going to have the entire offseason to talk about it.
True.
I would be really. Hey, let me say this. Here, let me ask
some breaking news for you.
Let me ask you. That scared me a lot. Let me ask you a question.
Hopefully we could play that this year. Break the Tucker news.
Let me ask you a question. How many wins would you give up right now? So let's say you don't know how many. Let's say you don't know how many wins the Cubs are going to have. You're guessing. Maybe it's 90. Maybe it's 88. How many wins would you give up at the end of the year to hear the news say in 3 weeks that the Cubs have re-signed Kyle Tucker?
Can I get back to you tomorrow?
Is that not a great question?
It's great. I got to wait.
Johnny Carson would be proud of me. Okay.
Right. I have to wait to answer it.
You know, I know I'm more the Ed McMahon on this show, but I think that was a sidekick, right? Ed McMahon?
Yes.
I get Ed McMahon and Ed Sullivan confused.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Ed Sullivan's the guy that the Beatles did their show in 1964.
Right, he was one of the first variety shows, right?
Yeah, well, 1964, the Beatles, that they premiered.
I've heard of them, yes.
Did you hear that band?
I have, but some of my students haven't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, someone asked me what was one of the best concerts I ever went to. I said, Paul McCartney, 2012 at Wrigley. They said, who's that?
No, we're done. We're done with the show's done. Let's move on.
Okay, show's over.
No. If that's true, I'm coming to this. I need to speak at that school
a real
anyway.
Story. Just happened 2 weeks ago.
No, I need to speak at that school anyway, and now I'm gonna go.
Thank you so much for checking out this episode. We're here 5 episodes a week.
That's embarrassing.
Monday through Friday, talking about all things. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB channel on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcast. All right, Cubs going for the series win on Tuesday. Jamison Tyone for the Cubs, Patrick Corbin for the Rangers. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
It's a bad take.